It is time to round up a big topic from the week. A Texas lawmaker is calling for a special session of Congress on the heels of the Supreme Court's decision on same-sex marriage. Republican State Representative David Simpson wants government removed from the marriage business, instead allowing anyone, even same-sex couples, to get their own marriage licenses. Under his proposal, clergy would issue marriage certificates consistent with their values and their convictions. Non-religious couples could create their own marriage documents and have them notarized. The couples would then be eligible for marriage benefits. So is a costly special session needed to remove the state from marriage? That's our topic this half hour. We want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page as well as on Twitter. Be sure to use the hashtag Fox26forlife. Joining us live in the newsroom this morning is our Fox 26 senior legal analyst, Chris Tritico, our news analyst, Mustafa Tamiz, and public policy analyst, Jackie Bally. Good to see you guys.
Good morning.
All here on time after the holiday. Very, very impressed.
Hey, I'm always on time.
Yeah, two of us are always here on time.
That's true. That's true. All right. So what do you guys think about this call for a special session?
Well, I think it's ridiculous, to be honest with you. A special session, what's that called? Session will cost millions of dollars to pass one piece of legislation that makes absolutely no sense. This is, as Larry Kiesler put on my Facebook page this morning, this is a tantrum being thrown by conservatives because the Supreme Court ruled against them. The issue of taking government out of the marriage license business has no basis. The state of Texas has a duty to issue these licenses and to regulate things that are still illegal. And that's why we still need to do this. There is a basis, Mustafa Tamiz, for the state of Texas and any state to stay in the business of issuing these licenses.
Yes, well, first we filed legislation to create a marriage amendment. Then they voted on this marriage amendment. Then they filed a Supreme Court challenge that they lost. And now they want to get out of the marriage business. Well, they shouldn't have been in it in the first place. It feels like we're in grade school again. They lost the game. Now they want to take their ball and go home. Well, it doesn't work that way, and I don't understand why we, the taxpayers, have to pay every time they have a temper tantrum.
If he gets his way, whether it's a special session or in the next session, and this bill that he wants passed gets through the Texas legislature, why is that not still discriminating against gays?
Well, the governor has made it clear we're not going to have a special session.
And he's right.
And a lot of our state leaders have said we're not going to have a special session. This one gentleman is opposed to the latest ruling, so he's doing what he's doing. But conservatives, for the most part, have said we're not having a special session and we're not having it over this topic. If he does decide to go forward with this, which he can, lawmakers do what they want to do, I don't see it going anywhere. First of all, this is one of the reasons why a lot of us feel that this particular item, and a lot of items, should be a states' rights issue, because Texas is so different from other states. And according to a lot of liberals, they keep saying, well, conservatives, but it's 70% of Texas voters, Democrat or Republican. And a lot of the people of color, a lot of the people of faith are people of color who identify with the Democrat Party, and they're the ones who are the loudest against the latest ruling by the Supreme Court. So they will say, and they will say that they're not discriminating because they are going with their convictions and with their faith.
Isn't that what the majority said in the 60s during segregation, that this is a part of what God wanted?
No.
Isn't that the same thing?
No, there's no basis in the Bible. A lot of the people, the men of faith right now are saying the Bible identifies a marriage between a man and a woman. A lot of the race claims that you heard in the 60s, there was no basis in the Bible.
But they created that basis, whether it was there or not. Let me go to Sally. She's monitoring our social media.
Okay, let's take a look at Twitter and some tweets that are coming out from this representative who is calling for the special session. This is David Simpson. He says, I cannot sit idly by while unelected judges redefine sacred marriage and force officials to violate cherished beliefs. Marriage is a divinely instituted tradition as old as humanity. Ask Governor Abbott to call a special session and defend marriage. He says he doesn't have a problem with, while he's opposed to same-sex marriage, this would allow same-sex couples to marry.
Well, he's really just doing the same thing they tried to do before, and that's allow heterosexual couples to get married in a traditional fashion and have a traditional ceremony and have homosexuals have a civil union. Call it whatever you want, that's what he's trying to do. But here's something, Mustafa, that I think takes this argument a little bit further. Last week, three people in Utah, polygamists, applied for a marriage license to have a polygamous marriage in Utah, saying, based on this ruling, we now get to get married, all three of us.
And the judge will probably say no, right, because it doesn't hold up. The trouble I have with this is that either these folks believe in the Constitution and believe in the founding principles of our country, which is, you know, the check and balance system, the three branches of government, executive, judiciary, and Congress, or they don't. Because on the one hand, they will keep a pocket constitution in their pocket. On the other hand, they said these are unelected judges. Well, figure out what you want. Because at this point, every time they lose, and they've been losing a lot, they question the fundamental foundation of our government.
Well,
they have to stop doing that.
That argument makes no sense because our Constitution in Texas has defined a marriage between a man and a woman. So these people that you're calling these people, they do believe in the Constitution. They believe in the Texas Constitution.
Our federal Constitution basically says that it supersedes
there are policies that should be a states' rights issue. And if you look at the separate branches of government when we were created,
I got to cut you
the
off.
Constitution of the United States said it supersedes state Constitution.
That's why we've decided that we need to get away from a national broad government.
But
so
when
these
the U.S. Supreme Court rules,
that you're calling,
when the U.S. Supreme Court rules, that's the final arbiter. That's what the U.S. Constitution says. We're going to leave it right there.